Here we go again. You're listening to the NASA National Cable Podcast, where we talk all things cable, wire, and the real power behind every job site.
Hi again, this is Karelis with NASA National Cable Podcast, and today we're starting a new conversation that we've called Coffee Chat with a Vendor, Getting to Know Our Partners. To start this new chat episode, we have a new guest, a very important guest for us that has been working with NASA National Cable for quite some time now. Brian Lualan. He's working with one of our suppliers, Commodity. Hi, Brian. How are you today?
I'm good, Corellis. How are you doing today?
Good. Very excited to have you sharing some ins and outs of this relationship and, a lot about your experience with NASA National Cable and Commodity. So, Ryan, let's start with this coffee chat. I hope you're ready and have your coffee cup right there, because this is going to get rowdy. All right?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Perfect. Ryan, so tell me a little bit about Commodity and your relationship. How many years have you been working with Commodity?
So I've been with Commodity Cables for 5 years now. I am an account manager. I oversee a few accounts, including NASA National Cables. And
how exciting is it? 5 years in one company. That's something that is very, I would say in this times after COVID, it's something unheard of.
oh yeah, no, I've seen throughout the industry. It seems like there's a larger turnover rate overall, but I think more and more people, younger people, are getting into this market and starting to realize that there's a money potential for them.
Absolutely, yes. And how much have you liked working in this industry for 5 years? I think you have some ins and outs, some pros and cons of what's happened. Can you tell us maybe a little overall of what you think, what you see, what you feel before we start more in depth with a couple more questions about our relationship?
Yeah. No. I
kind of like share your journey with the industry.
Well, I started in the warehouse here at Commodity Cables. Got the opportunity to come inside. Started to learn the product and the industry, get the ins and outs. Meet some people, shake some hands. You start to develop relationships with freight companies and everything. There's just a lot that goes into a relationship with a company. Trying to build together, trying to make sure everything's delivered to the end customer, because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
That's true. That is true. Absolutely. Building that relationship with our customers is what has also made NASA National Cable separate from all our competitors. And that's something that we aim to be better at as time goes. All right, Brian. So now just broaden into basically what this is going to be and getting more into that first drink of our coffee cup. All right. So what sparked your interest in becoming a part of Commodity 5 years ago?
Really, it was an opportunity that was given to me, and then I just ran with it. I got to see the industry. I got to see how the market works with aluminum and copper. Watching how things can grow and diminish in a year just based on the price of copper and aluminum themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I got to say that this is a very interesting industry. There's absolutely nothing that's going to stay constant in this industry for a long time, right? So I think that's something that makes it very exciting as opposed to probably, the regular retail and clothes and shoes and stuff like that, where you have your regular sales, your regular prices that, yes, fluctuate here and there, but overall, you know exactly what to expect from them.
Yeah,
so, right. Yes. So tell us about the journey with NASA National Cable. How and when this collaboration with NASA National Cable began and how it has evolved over time.
Well, 5 years ago when I had gotten the account, we were doing I'd say around 200,000, maybe $300,000 a year with you guys. Yeah, I looked more in depth. I saw that you guys were an online business and that you sold all over the country, and wanted to reach out to Sam, and we started to expand our URD line. Then we got into SER with y'all on the MC cable, XHHW, and in the past 5 years, our line has really expanded with the growth of with our growth with y'all with Nassau.
Yes, yes, that's absolutely amazing. That's something to kind of like, to elaborate on. So I gotta ask you, do you have, or maybe you can share some of the projects, or maybe one project that stand out, or a moment that is worth highlighting that kind of like solidify that relationship and that partnership between commodity and national cable?
Yes, it was our it's a URD aluminum cable, codenamed Dyke. Um, Sam had called in for 20,000 feet, and he told me if we could stock 100,000 feet, that I'd start to see more business. Was able to get more in, and then we started to explore more options in our different our different URDs.
Okay, that's perfect. So that means, we started with aluminum and copper. Basically, the biggest sellers that we have, and the biggest products that we buy from you are the URDs in general, right?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. All right. So I know it has not been easy. It's definitely going to be bumps in the road of a successful partnership. It's something that has been going for 5 years, has seen a lot.
Yes.
And maybe if there's something funny, or if there's like something that has impacted a lot, and probably made this relationship more special with national cable. Is there anything that comes to mind and that you would like to share with us today?
Yes. The invitation that you guys sent out to us to come down to Columbia and meet the team as a whole. When we got to come down there and just meet everybody face to face, and
Yeah.
really put a voice with the face and everything, get some recognition, and see how you guys are as a family and how you guys work down there. Really opened my eyes to how Nassau and Commodity Cables are as a company, as partners.
Nice. Well, I'm glad, definitely super excited that you had a great time, that you enjoyed your visit to our office in Medellin. It's definitely unique. It's something completely different from what we experience here in the United States. Beautiful country, beautiful city, and we have a great team there that has been able to push forward all this business of e-commerce. It's difficult when it's all done behind the screen or behind a phone than putting a face, like you just said, to on the company, and the email that you constantly receive, of the phone call that you receive from this person that you have never actually got to see. It definitely shifts that relationship and makes it a lot stronger. So I hope, like you said, that this visit commodity was able to do to our offices in Medellin, is able to skyrocket our relationship.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Definitely. Okay, so now shifting a little bit from memories and good experiences and projects and stuff, is there an aspect of NASA National Cable or how we do things? Because I usually describe us as very unique and very unorthodox in the way we do things. But is there something out of that completely different approach that we have to doing business? Is there something there that kind of resonates with you?
Oh yes, the persistence, the follow up that you guys have is second to none. I mean, you guys have a great team that follows up on your leads, on tracking, on shipping, on everything. I mean, Y'all's follow up
Oh,
is probably the best in the business.
right. We're very intense. I'd like to put it that way. It starts from the roots, actually. I know you mentioned Sam before in this conversation, and I gotta know, Sam is the owner of the company. He is a very intense person, and he is very hard worker and a smart worker. So he goes through everything with all his might. And I think that's something that everybody at National Cable has learned from him, from his guidance and from his leadership. So
Yes.
that is definitely something that, yes, I gotta agree with you. We're very, very, very special at following up. Um, how do you see this collaborative spirit influencing success of more projects together with commodity and
Well,
national scale?
I see us growing more on the industrial side, commodity and NASA together, working in a higher voltage rating, the medium and high voltage side of the business, where we would
Okay, so expanding to more products, definitely something that is coming up with this relationship. That's good to
exactly.
know. Yeah, perfect. I like that. I like that energy. I like that expanding kind of energy that we have. And I'm pretty sure with everything that's happening and how we're doing things in a very unorthodox way that we used to, I'm sure that we're going to achieve those goals. So, Brian, tell me about your professional insight. So, from your perspective, what trends or changes do you see in the cable industry? And tell me a little bit about how commodities adapting to this, and maybe how do you see we could benefit in this partnership together?
I this
I know that's
following
a
year,
difficult question.
well, this following year coming on an election, that always has that always weighs heavy on the country and how the market's going to do. I mean, as of right now, copper seems to be trending up and aluminum seems to be trending down. So we're trying to buy as much aluminum as possible. I mean, you want to try and get everything at the lowest cost you can, and
Mhm.
I mean, hopefully we can take that and use it to our advantage. Just try
Right.
and get a lower cost, and hopefully this election turns in our favor.
Well, we all hope for the best, right? That's
That's right.
something that unfortunately we cannot predict in as much effort we have. It's a very collaborative effort that involves the entire country. And we hope everybody just does the best they can with this particular aspect. But when it comes to cable industry, I know, like I said at the beginning, I know this is an industry that has been impacted in terms of pricing and market availability.
Hmm.
So what you said now is just trying to get the best out of the particular situation by stocking or preparing for a future in which the prices will go up and things will change in terms of stock and availability. I think that's a smart way to do it. And I hope, with what changes come, National Cable and Commodity keep adapting together to all this and keep growing and keep rising successfully. Can you tell me a little bit also about maybe an example of how innovation has played a role in, let's say, our collaborative efforts, or
Well,
maybe
I think you guys being a strictly e-commerce business has really changed the game. I mean, there are other e-commerce, but I don't think I've seen any of them that are as big or as successful as y'all. And I think that's really helped turn for both parties. I mean, where we bring in more stock and say that we're holding it here for you, but it's helping both businesses at the same time. So I think something like that also helps a business or a collaboration grow, where I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
absolutely. Like I said, it's it's all about playing this game together, right?
That's right.
It's all about staying, collaborating, and staying, just making sure that if you do good, we do good, and help each other, as much as possible.
That's right. And then I also
It's
think
good.
that the communication is a key as well. I mean, you guys giving anybody feedback and letting us know, these a certain price target that we need to hit. I mean,
Mhm.
it goes a long way.
It definitely is, just like you mentioned before, our follow-up is just on point. It's done like that because there's a reason behind it, right? This is an strictly e-commerce kind of company, and the internet never sleeps. So
That's right.
when a person or a possible customer has so many different ways of accessing material and getting prices and so many other competitors, seconds matter. So that's why we are constantly achieving or trying to go after the best and the fastest answer possible, so that we can provide with our customers so that we can provide to our customers a fast response with quality products, which is what we've been getting from commodity wires and cables. So definitely a joint effort in that aspect. And when we started this conversation, I said, this relationship of 5 years or more cannot have been easy. It definitely wasn't easy at the beginning. I don't know if maybe you can discuss a challenge that we encountered, and more important than anything, how we were able to overcome that challenge.
I don't think it was. I think that there was just a hiccup, if you will, that I don't think anybody realized the untapped potential that both companies had working in unison. And I think once we got closer together, Sam and Fred, that when we started to explore and discuss our options, that we realized that we can work great as a team.
Yes, definitely. It's something that keeps coming to our in this conversation, and it's communication, right? It's understanding how important it is to have an open and free communication within both parties, and to make sure that if there's a problem, we still maintain a clear and a very straight to the point communication, so that we can successfully achieve that goal of completing a successful partnership, right?
That's right.
So besides communication and our outstanding following up, what are some of the favorite aspects that you have, from working with NASA National Cable?
Well, I've learned that you guys are also taking on AI and trying to involve that into your daily business, which I think is something that hasn't been explored very much in this industry, and I think it's starting to prove groundbreaking for y'all's company.
Well, definitely. It's right now it's unbelievable to think or to say that a computer has the answer for everything. Right? Before, you had to go through the book and encyclopedia and scroll pages through pages, and that was thousands of pages that you had to scroll in order for you to find an answer. Now you simply say, Bart, can I have an answer for your question? And that's
right.
it. There you have it. So it's definitely something that we aim to include in our processing, and to make sure that we utilize all the tools available to make this process easier, faster, and more effective, so that we can continue giving our clients a outstanding service, as well as maintaining and expediting this relationship we have with, for example, with commodity in this case. A successful partnership is always the end goal. And now I want to shift a little bit to you as Brian Lualan. How do you bring a personal touch to your work? Tell me why, you know, you have been successful for 5 years now in this particular industry and in this particular partnership that we have with NASA National Cable and Commodity.
Well, I strive to make a personal connection with all of my customers. And I've also just taken the time to try and learn the products, learn how to read spec sheets, and just try and make sure I can have all the answers for my customers. Try and go above and beyond, make sure you know what you're talking about. When you know exactly what you're selling is that you need to know what you're selling.
Right. Knowing your product makes you a really good sales agent, right?
Correct.
You're able to answer questions to your customers and you're able to help them with all their needs. That's something that we also aim to do at NASA National Cable with all our customers. It's just provide more than just an outstanding or a quality product. We also want to give them our personal touch. We want to make sure that they understand that everybody that comes to work with us, whether it's a vendor or a possible vendor or whether it's a customer, we are going to give them something more than just quality products. But I wanna kind of like end this with like a funny story. Do you have anything that you can share, personal, a funny story from our time working together?
No, I don't. I don't think I do.
Aw.
I'm so sorry, Corellis. I'm so sorry.
Ryan, you're saying that we're boring? Come on.
No, there's just nothing that comes to mind. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But so I wanna poke your brain a little bit before we end this conversation. And I wanted to ask you about maybe future aspirations. So can you tell me a little bit about how you envision the evolution of cable industry and how can our partnership contribute to that vision?
Yes. I the next few years we're going to see an increase in fiber, which we already have, and I think that whoever hops on that train early is gonna have a nice key to start success.
Well, that's a good point. We definitely should start evaluating that that new stream in this field of wires and cables. That definitely, since we talked about AI and fiber optic cables has definitely a lot to do with that. And we know that there's a lot of companies now there that depend. Basically, every company out there, every office, every home, needs this type of cables in order to have access to the most amazing tool that the humans have been able to develop, which is the internet. And
That's right.
yeah, definitely looking forward to how this will develop and how our partnership will continue to succeed. So before we leave, before I say goodbye, before we finish our cup of coffee, do you have any lessons, any advice for all these future kids and young generations that are coming, that are looking to involve themselves in this industry?
So I was saying that I believe that if you work hard and you sit down and you actually learn the material, you learn about the copper, the aluminum, you learn how to read the spec sheets, you learn all the little ins and outs, the jacks, the plugs, the trays, every little thing that's in this industry, that you're gonna strive and make you're gonna make a great living for yourself.
Absolutely. It's all about first, like we discussed before, knowing your product. It's all about how to talk and knowing how to communicate your ideas, your solutions, your problems, et cetera, et cetera. So, and drive, how driven you are to succeed at something. So, guys, like Brian just said, just keep doing you, but at the same time, listen to his advice because there's gold on it. All right. So, Ryan, I want to thank you very much for your time to enjoy this cup of coffee with us here at the National Cable Podcast. I want to thank you again for taking the time to go through all these questions that sometimes can be very prodding and uncomfortable, but you made it look super simple, super easy, and I hope we can enjoy a future conversation again together to discuss more about this amazing industry that is very challenging, that is very, very, very entertaining in a sense. And you're welcome here to our National Cable Podcast anytime you want. So just let us know whenever you're ready to have more to talk about on this particular industry of wires and cables.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I had a pleasure.
Awesome. It was amazing talking to you guys. Thank you very much. So you have it, Brian Lualan with Commodity Wires and Cables. Just listen through all this podcast. It has some very important ins and outs on that industry, as well as very important advices from a successful person in this industry, which is important to just hear beforehand. So thank you very much for listening from the beginning. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. Don't hesitate to leave your questions on any of our platforms. Let us know what you want us to talk about in our next podcast and how you guys like this new series of coffee chats with vendors. And there you have it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, ask your questions, and don't miss out any of our further shows. See you soon. Thank you, Ryan, again. Let's keep the conversation going. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Remember to follow National Cable for more real-world tips, gear talk, and stories that keep your projects running strong. Don't miss the next one.